Yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Your good evening sounds. My microphone. Your good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Your good evening. What part of Nigeria does that remind you of?
I don't know what you're
Don't mention
talking
no, because I don't want trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about. Me, I don't know.
Good evening.
I better go.
Good evening.
Before you say something else, please. I do not know what you're
mention.
I don't know what you're
anybody's
talking
name
about.
or,
I do not know what you're talking about. Please.
But anyways, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar. My name, Shola Rogers.
And my name is Oladolupo.
Yes, and together,
Wait.
she
What,
and I and she.
Okay.
They
I'm
and
sure everybody that says
they
when
and
you mean
we.
that together, I'm sure they understand what it means.
No,
by
no,
together.
you see, that's the problem. It's a new world, and you need to understand how these things work.
No, don't worry. You're referring to me.
Yes.
My pronouns still remain the same.
Is she?
Yes, it's still she.
Okay, are
I'm
you
a
sure?
she. I'm a she.
Okay. Are you really sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Very sure.
Because even some of the social media sites, when they want to prompt you about someone, they will say they, and I'm like, are these people speaking Yoruba English? Like, one change profile picture, one like they tell you that Dolupo has changed her profile picture.
Yeah.
Instead of them to say the person's name, they'll say they. Do you notice
I've
that?
never noticed it though.
Oh, it's been on for years.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So a big shout out to you guys. Thank you for being there. Amazing 3 years and counting. We're almost 3 years old, and it's been an interesting.
It's
ride.
been an interesting, definitely
we need
an
to
interesting journey.
Get some old videos.
Old
and
videos
pictures of
like
the
merging,
first
like
studio, second studio,
and then
this
here we are now.
current site.
We thank everyone that has been on that journey. There are a few people that you know that okay. There are a few pictures that we can bring out that you're like, this person was in that first studio
Yeah.
and that second studio, and is came to the studio as well. So we're still here, thankfully, still boomradio.com.ng. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, this is the Boom Bar where we give you just about everything and anything
In between, so music, sports, entertainment,
and everything in between. And we do that.
Talking about sports, Dolupo.
Yeah.
It's easy to criticize Ateta. Ateta this, Ateta that. It's easy to talk when they are not doing well.
Okay.
And I told you that Arsenal turned the corner. You did not agree.
Okay.
Last night, Carabao Cup,
So
a weekend team against a very, very tough opponent. Please, can I get the results?
I know it was 2-0, but okay.
Oh, 2-0.
Who's the top team that they played with? If I may ask?
Sorry, who did Arsenal play again?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, well, you see, this is what she does. Selective amnesia.
It's not selective
Now,
amnesia.
the
It's
sad part-
Leeds now.
The sad part
Seriously.
is Dolupo is an Arsenal fan.
It's Leeds. Yes, it's not a sad thing, but is it a crime to want something good for a change?
The word change has been bastardized. Be careful the way you use it in Nigeria now. You might be attacked for it.
I don't know.
I'm
Everybody
just
just wants. I don't let me say everybody. I just would like to have something like.
And so,
Let's just.
but this
you
has
know.
always been my problem with critics and analysts, that we seem to enjoy. We like to dwell on what's not right, what's not going well.
No.
And we go off on it.
I actually
and when,
watched.
And when things change, and when things
Why do I always catch
we
the
must be-
second
we must
half
be-
of these matches?
Because you're a second half person.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds wrong.
No, someone
It
who
sounds
likes
wrong.
second half
It sounds very wrong.
of a match.
Yes, that conversation has not ended. But moving on.
Somebody should save me. We're talking about football. You never watch the first half. You're never around for the first half. You're always the second half.
Like I said,
That you
it
can't.
still does. It sounds like there's something else to it, and I will get to the bottom of it. That I can.
I wish you good luck
That
in
I
all
will
your
inform.
endeavors.
You can.
Happy getting to the bottom of it.
I will. I will. Oh, definitely. I will.
Bottoms up, guys. Nice water. Someone asked me if I was drinking honey. I said, yeah.
It's honey.
It's honey.
It's honey.
At least it's sweet.
Okay. So, so what I was saying basically was that I would not like to be at the edge of my seat every time to say that, okay, we don't know what's going to happen today. Are they going to make sense today? Are they not going to make sense? Oh, let's hope. I don't want to hope.
Which Arsenal is going to turn up today?
Which Arsenal is going to turn up today?
But
that's the problem that I see.
What I'm trying to tell you is that
still doesn't mean Ateta still doesn't
whenever
need to go.
they turn up, you must acknowledge, and when they do bad, then you can also do it. And that's my problem. And I was going to use that to coast into something else. Again, last night I saw the Chelsea game.
Yeah.
And oh my god. Chelsea were this close to losing.
Yeah, this close to losing except the penalties.
Southampton looked like a team that had never practiced penalties before in their entire life.
Yeah.
And it was more of them missing than Chelsea scoring. Mm-hmm. It was more about Southampton missing 2 or so penalties.
Yeah, they missed 2 out of 5.
Kudos must go to the Chelsea goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga or something, whatever his name is. I'm sorry if I murdered your name. It's not intentional. Seems to be very comfortable with penalties. It seems to be like a scenario we had with Enyimba FC a few years ago. Vincent Enyama was their number 1 goalkeeper. Dele Ayenuba was their number 2 goalkeeper. And on their way to winning the Champions League in Africa, whenever it was towards the end of the game, the coach would swap goalkeepers because Dele was actually very good with penalties.
Just in case.
Chelsea has that kind of scenario now with Kepa and what's his name? Mendy or what's his name? So, but whatever it is, Chelsea are through, to the next round, and it could have gone either way for them.
It definitely could have.
I like the fact that Carabao allows you to let people play, and Eddie Nketiah, Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
That goal.
Oh yeah.
That goal.
Yeah. I think yesterday he really turned up
for. I think they should let that guy go play on loan somewhere again. Okay, but this is it. You have Aubameyang and Lacazette, and you're not going to bench any of them for
yeah.
So let him go and play and get more experience and more exposure and build up his confidence. That guy is a baller.
Yeah. I think that he's good. Whenever he turns up, I think he turns up really well. And that's my fear. I don't call it fear. It's the fact that, let's be honest with ourselves. I keep saying it every time. Arsenal is not lacking. Yes, maybe 1 or 2 places. But you can't say they're totally lacking in players.
And your problem has always been with the coach.
Yes. So the truth is, same thing with Solskjaer. We don't know when they're actually going to turn up.
Now,
and for heaven's sake, you can't be a top team if we don't know when.
Talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of Man United, the gist out there, word on the street, is that he's been given a 3-match ultimatum.
Yeah. And I don't see that working for him.
Look at the people that he's playing.
He's playing Tottenham first, then he's playing Chelsea, then he's playing Atalanta, he's playing Man City. I think out of the 7, I think even Arsenal that is playing the 7. But I checked, it's 7. He's playing Villarreal, he's playing Atalanta, you're playing Man City, you're playing Chelsea. But I think the easiest out of those for the first 5 is probably Spurs, which you also never know when Spurs is going to turn up as well.
When Spurs comes across a top 6 team, they're always.
Their insurance is always. So I'm like, okay, I don't see that working out in a very good light for him. I'm sorry. Okay.
So while we're at it, we're also going to let you guys know that we are streaming live on YouTube. Shout out to the people watching on YouTube. Please go subscribe to our channel there, Boom Radio NG. It's easy. Once you type Boom Radio NG, you would see us and subscribe to us and leave us a comment, share,
and all that. Anything.
It's important for national peace and tranquility.
So basically, it's really funny how you saw how matches ended yesterday. I honestly didn't even know until you said it. I didn't even know that there was even a match. There were Carabao Cup this week. And anyway, for today, we don't want to know what's going to happen today. It's Tottenham. It's actually Tottenham. You never know. So Tottenham is playing Burnley today. We know that news came out that Dele Alli is not in the squad for this particular one. Leicester is playing Brighton. Also at 7:45.
My money is on Leicester.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, I think so actually. Liverpool is playing Preston North End.
They should beat Preston very well. What Jurgen Klopp is going to do?
I can shoot them if they actually do.
It's actually going to put out. It's going to put out a third string team, not even second string.
Like let's
Liverpool will still win.
Yeah, Stoke City and Brentford.
You can quote me.
Now. Because at times Stoke City can just be Stoke.
And Brentford can be tough to play.
Yeah, so that one is either way. Also, Man City is playing West Ham today. Also, all these matches are all at 7:45.
Someone said, thank God Man United lost to West Ham earlier, because it would have been Man City, Man United.
Why do we do these things? It's not fair. Okay, I'm not a Manchester United fan. I seem to have a lot of Manchester United fan friends. Hi, Biola. Why have I not called Biola? Oh my God!
Check on him to see how he's doing.
I really need to check on him though.
Biola Biole.
I would actually call him.
Please,
I need to call him today. Hi, Biola. How you doing?
So imagine if Man United was playing Man City.
They call this thing when we were, I think it was in UI, I used to call it maximum shishi.
Because they're not they're out of sorts.
If it was the way they play with Liverpool, that would be like this.
This is the kind of game that Guardiola will tell you is going to rest his team. He's lying.
He's a lie.
Raheem Sterling will play.
He's a lie.
Maybe Kevin De Bruyne might not play, but you see,
he's a lie. That man never rests anybody.
you see some.
He plays everything like he's playing World Cup champ finals. See where they play.
It's all good in the hood, and that's all fun and banter that we're gonna have on sport. we're definitely switching gears now.
Yeah, we're definitely moving on.
So
from that,
at times it's good to lose. You were angry that time.
No, it's not.
You think if they are playing City now, those ones will not destroy their future? That 3-match ultimatum would have ended immediately. Immediately.
I'm not there. You post seriously. I don't think it's that bad. I honestly do not think it's that bad. Okay, it is actually. I saw a video. I can't remember who it was, where the person was actually going on about how, even though it was very heartbreaking, because the person was actually dissing Arsenal too, that Manchester United should agree they're not a top team anymore. That see Arsenal, they've accepted their fate and they are enjoying the game. Just enjoy the game of football. Don't try.
But the sad thing about that is, if you look at how much these two teams have spent, they are still top teams. Let's not even look at their pedigree or their history. The amount
for you to be a top team, I think it's not just about the amount of money.
It's part of it.
Yes, I get it, but you also should bring in the results.
Okay, but
for you to stay up there, the results actually have to show.
Secondary, but
they're not. They are.
I'm not saying they are not important, but they're secondary. The primary thing is to meet with the big boys. So, which of the middle level or low level teams do you want to compare Arsenal and Man United to? None. They don't have the kind of pedigree or the kind of funds that are available to those two teams. Oh, glory or not, whatever. All right, like we said, we're moving away from.
I think we just move away from sports before we move.
There's so much more to talk about.
Some people decided to shoot us this afternoon.
Yes. All the Man United fans. Someone was telling me, glory, yeah, cool share.
Don't deceive yourself. Don't be saying glory.
That thing will not be great until Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
leaves. I agree. I agree as well. I know something very interesting. I won't call it funny, but kind of funny. Is that in Kano State today, the ISBA board has arrested a 26-year-old Ali Yuna Idris, who put himself up for sale for 20 million naira. I actually saw a video. They had a whole.
Is he on Jumia or
he put a whole board on his video on the road.
Man for sale.
Man for sale.
A few years ago when we were growing up, you used to see dog for sale in traffic.
But are those things actually illegal? Just ask him.
To sell yourself?
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Stop laughing. Stop laughing.
The sad part is some people have already sold themselves without knowing. You
How?
know? Yeah, there's certain contracts that you have signed or jobs that you have taken that you have sold. You get?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially when it's a low level job. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say that there's no dignity in labor, but how are you engagement in a place for 20, 25 years? You are sold. How are you someone's driver for 30 years?
Why?
You understand? That's you selling yourself. But this particular guy wants cash up front.
He just wants cash. So, whatever you like, do to me.
So wait. How does it work? The man in Kano says he wants to sell. He's 26 years old. He wants to sell himself for 20 million naira. Then the person that buys him will now hand him 26 million. Then he becomes rich. Then what happens?
But that's the part I'm trying to understand.
What's going to happen? He'll still be serving the person.
If this person buys you, allowed to chop you up. Because if you sold yourself, I can do whatever I like to you if I buy you.
Let's not even get morbid. If the person just says, okay, go and sit under the tree for the next 3 months, no food, no water, what are you going to do?
What you want to do?
Except he wants the money for something else. We didn't look into it. Maybe, he's making a sacrifice or something. But he actually does sound, at first asking or at first hearing about it, someone puts himself up for sale. Sounds very, very funny. On the flip side, maybe not. I know about auctions where celebrities will put themselves up, for auction.
Yeah, like on a date or something.
Yeah, people will pay so much for charity.
For charity, yes, definitely. So
shout out to charity.
Okay. What? Oh my God. My girl, charity. I'm wondering how that got into.
We're talking about charity.
Anyway, moving on from that. Naira Marley's in the news.
Yeah, Naira or the
Naira Marley. Naira Marley. That was what I said.
We have several Nairas now.
Naira Marley.
Wait now.
Naira
we have ATM Naira.
Naira Marley.
And Bank Naira.
Naira Marley. Naira Marley. I just said Naira Marley.
Naira now.
I just said Naira Marley for like 5 times.
I apologize.
Naira Marley.
I apologize for you.
The singer Naira Marley. Yeah, he's in the news. And now, EFCC. Did you think that is the case with EFCC was still in court?
To be honest, I know that the case is in court, but it was looking like, something that wouldn't be this serious. It was just going to
it was just going to...
Eventually, they're just going to tell him...
To pay some fine, like a slap on the wrist or something. But it looks like EFCC is not playing. As of today, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has today displayed before a federal high court here in Lagos virtual projection of a compact disc with 51,933 pages analysis of the iPhone that was taken from Naira Marley.
A pause on that to read a comment on Facebook.
Okay, go ahead,
from my friend and my brother, Omotayo Olukayode. He says, Ogayesa, I hear you well. Thanks for always being a good company every lunch hour.
Oh, thank you very much.
No!
Thank you. What?
No! What? That's bad. That's wrong.
You should be sending the lunch.
You can't be having lunch by yourself.
It's about, it's not a bad idea if you actually have this lunch.
If you put chicken here, it will make our work
easier.
Yeah?
You make the throat less. Think about it.
Think about it.
Thank you. We'll be back again.
Thanks, Ben. God bless you, and thanks for the comment.
All right, so I'm still talking about it. So basically, a forensic expert today, analyst, has said that the evidences they have said that he actually had all these things. Part of it had people's credit card pictures, and he had credit card numbers on his phone.
Okay, let me take it from the naive perspective. Like, okay, I can have your credit card picture on my phone. You can have mine.
No.
I can have my wife's credit card. I can.
No.
You know my PIN to all my cards and everything.
No, not that I have your picture of
maybe
your
you don't want
card.
to forget the digits when you are trying to
why do I need the picture
I know someone
of
close
your
to us,
credit card?
a guy that is close to us, who buys things online with people's cards, and he's not a fraudster. He sends money to you to help him because his card is bad. I do it to remember.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that except someone is going to now educate me to say,
because if you have that, then maybe your family, members, or someone that you're exactly.
That's the point I was trying to make.
So if they're not people that you can actually explain how it got there, or there's no link between you and these people. We have another comment.
Yes, Omotayo Olukayode says, we're always on the table together, bro. One love, Baba. One love. But you don't respond to the chicken. The chicken will talk. Oh, okay, if chicken is a problem, fish. If fish is a problem, pomo.
Oh my God.
Pomo lata, pomo that they have turned in the pepper. 1 year later, they have turned it in the pepper.
Anyway, so basically, I don't know where this the how you can explain this. That's the point I'm trying to.
To be honest with you, I personally, Naira Marley is someone that I know, and at least from his uncle, who is a friend, and I've always known him as a musician. I've always known him as someone who strives to do well with his music and all of that, which he has now done. And I won't lie, the controversy last year really helped him.
Oh yeah, it did.
At some point, a lot of people are like, who is Naira Marley? And they got to know a lot about him. And I know he has lewd lyrics, but he's not the only one. Some of our greats today, King Sunny Ade, Ebenezer Obey, Shino Peters, they all had lewd lyrics too. They all went through that phase in their music, until they evolved and became philosophers and party guys and all of that. However, I do not know that aspect of him being a fraudster and all of that. But I'm not saying he's not, and I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that I always like the facts to emerge. So if the EFCC are now bringing out facts and stuff, they always say the onus of proof is on the accuser. They have now gone out to more or less prove their case. They're talking about over 90-something thousand evidences and stuff. I don't know how if I use evidences in plural that is right, but bottom line is that they have a strong case against him now.
Yeah, he needs to.
For his own good, for the sake of his family, for the sake of his career, I pray that Naira Marley can defend himself and walk out of this unscathed and say, you know what, guys, it was not what you thought, and maybe you'll be able to sing that song. See me see trouble. Am I a Yahoo boy? He actually has a song.
Yeah, it does. I'm talking about EFCC. Yeah, there was news from beginning of this week that a former senator, Ayim Pius Ayim, you remember that person?
And remember our pictures?
it's not working. It's not. I will not even lie. Anyway, Ayim Pius Ayim is supposed to. He said
he actually
went to
the EFCC, but it was now kept there for about 48 hours or thereabouts and everything.
If you went there by yourself, how are you?
Why would you even go there in the first place? That means there's a case.
Oh yeah, the idea is that what he's saying is that he heard that his name was linked to another person's case, so he went there to clarify, clear his name. And if you actually went there to clear your name, why are you being detained?
Well, I'm not sure we can call it a detention if he's out and he's talking now.
He was detained.
Maybe it took him 2 days to clear his name. It's possible. The case might be a very serious case now, and they're like, you know what? We really don't think
it must have really been a serious matter.
But it's out now, isn't it? It looks like it's free. Well, or is there a pending?
Oh no! It looks like is free. We don't know the details of the EFCC case yet, so we definitely would find out as the case comes up.
And trust us to bring that gist to you guys
right here,
hot and sizzling.
And now let's talk about fortunately, something that we didn't talk about yesterday. We're going to take off a lot of insecurity issues. Looks like this anyway is the way it is now. A lot of people are talking about Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. A lot of people keep talking about it, and sadly, it seems like most, don't let me say all, most Nigerians seem to be on the same page.
Well, some Nigerians, not most Nigerians.
But before we get to that point, let's go all the way to Anambra State. This was a story that came yesterday from the Inspector General of Police, where he had deployed maybe like half of all the...
you know when they say that you throw in the kitchen sink and the tap and the freezer and everything are the problem. Basically, the IG has thrown everything into like, Anambra now.
You think you pull no abscess?
The man does not want to hear any stories.
He does not want to hear any stories. The story is very interesting because there's a lot of, as in a whole lot of people. Remember when I heard yesterday and I'm like, okay, this man has no plans of taking it calm at all. As of yesterday, the Inspector General of Police had deployed 2 deputy IGs, 5 assistant IGs, 14 commissioners of police.
14?
Yeah. 31.
To one state.
One state. These are 14 commissioners that determine what happens in 30 states. 40 states. 31 deputy commissioners of police and 48 assistant commissioners of police.
See what's happening now.
That's, remember, minus the 34,000 troops that were actually deployed like the week before.
Okay, look.
All for Anambra elections. I know it's not safe. It will just be really nice to actually be in Anambra. Like, okay.
It's a two-way street for me.
How is this working?
It's a two-way street for me. A part of me goes, well, you're not going to keep back and let someone threaten the sovereignty of your country. And an important thing as an election to determine the next governor of an important state like Anambra State, which, like every other state in Nigeria, is important. If you disenfranchise the people of Anambra, there will be millions of people that you are basically going to mess up. So IPOB has threatened a sit-at-home order and all of that, and then the police are going to counter it. It's beautiful. It's good for the Nigerian government to do a show of force, to say, you know what, we're not going to
take this lying down.
No, we're not going to take it lying down. But on the flip side for me, I say to myself, dear Mr. Inspector General of Police, there's trouble in Zamfara. Big trouble.
There's a lot of trouble in Kaduna State.
Massive trouble. You know? And a couple of other states, you know, in Plateau State, in Benue and other parts. How come we didn't see this show of force? Are you saying
it's because there's an election
that politics is
more important
than non-politicians who have been kidnapped and who have been harassed out of their states and who are more or less living like fugitives and not fugitives now. Refugees is the word I was looking for. Thank you. In their own country. I think we need to use the same energy that we're using in Anambra State for an election in places where there are pockets of violence and there are issues bordering around insecurity. Today in Kogi State, we heard about all the trouble that's happening there and everything. You know, on the one part, I've always said it, and I know statistically I am correct. Nigeria is under-policed. We need more troops. We need more policemen and soldiers and all of that. When was the last time they really did that recruitment thing and all? And how well are they being trained and prepared for these issues? But it's commendable for an IG to do this because it's basically saying it's putting his foot down. But I want him to use the same energy
on every other part
where there's no election, but which in Nigerian life might be threatened.
Okay, so now my question with this whole matter is that, okay, not a question. There was something I wanted to bring up. This was still yesterday, yeah? I don't know if you saw the story where some U.S. senators are actually out to throw out the case that IPOB has against them. IPOB had sued them in court that they should stop the sale of the Super Tucano jets to Nigeria. And reading the story made me actually, like, it helps you, like, have a lot of insight on a lot of things. Remember a few days ago where you were talking about how
bandits and terrorists.
It has to be terrorists and all that. Now, according to the memorandum of understanding between the US and Nigeria, those jets can only be deployed in the north.
Yeah, where there's terrorism.
Yeah. So, terrorism or not, it can't even pass the north. So what they are saying,
it actually can.
What they are saying now is that IPOB does not have a case because they actually have an understanding with the federal government of Nigeria
this is the area of
that this is the area that these things are going to be deployed, and it's not going to pass this area.
Exactly.
So they don't see why there is a conversation about the matter in the first place.
I think what IPOB has done and what most of these other groups are doing is that they're going to use anything and everything at their disposal, to fight this government, whatever it takes. They don't care. They're just basically going to embarrass the government, fight the government, because they have an agenda, which is fine. It's all right. Might not be fine, but I'm just saying. So, the Super Tucano deal was signed, sealed many years ago. Only just delivered this year. Yeah. Because that's how long it takes to manufacture 12.
Yeah.
It's not something that you buy off the shelf. You actually need to order and all of that. And looking at how the Nigerian military has been depleted through the years, largely because government after government has not really invested in security. Even with the large budgets that they would have.
Oh, we saw how the Dasuki story and all. Yeah.
So what this government did was to actually put the
invest
money
where
the mouth is. At the moment there's an European ship. I think it's from Norway or Denmark or so, that is currently in the Gulf of Guinea, currently in Nigerian waters, and they were instrumental to, fighting the sea pirates in the eastern part of Africa and all of that. And they in Nigeria now. They met with the Nigerian Navy and all of that, because the Nigerian Navy has also stepped up
again. Yeah.
And they've done a lot of investments and stuff. So the Super Tucanos can only be deployed, I repeat again, against terrorists.
So why that's now calls to the conversation. Why are the so-called bandits not branded as terrorists already? Please, what exactly is different between a bandit and a terrorist? These people are enemies of the state. Take, for example, what happened with the train last week.
That's terrorism.
Are you telling me
that's terrorism,
that it is banditry and not terrorism?
I'm talking about the
people
train.
Could have died.
Talking about the train, Dolupo, the train driver, I don't know if that's what that's what they are called, is actually a Nigerian hero. The guy in charge of the train, when that attack happened, told his colleagues to all go back and be safe, and he went head on, and he basically saved everybody, and he lived to tell the tale. I heard that someone has actually given him money, and a lot of people are now saying, look, we want to meet with this guy, because in the face of all of this, the guy talked about the passengers and his crew, and he said to them, you know what, guys, something like a ship's captain would do, to say, if the ship goes down, he also goes down with the ship.
Yeah.
He has a chance to get off, but he stays. So, so that was basically a major act of terrorism. You hear about such things in places like
Spain. Do you understand? That's where my
like
issue comes from. Like okay,
Israel.
So how do you reconcile this? And then you say that they're bandits and not terrorists. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work with me. And I'm talking about banditry and terrorism. We've seen how a certain person, Sheikh Gumi, is all over the place, always has something to say in favor of bandits. Always.
It's interesting how Sheikh Gumi is in the news all the time, talking on behalf of the so-called bandits, which we know are terrorists.
Do you understand? Like,
you get, but we'll leave them to this nomenclature game that they are playing. Now, Reno or Mockery, I don't know if anybody has seen me on air do this. I'm not a big fan. I'm not gonna lie, but Reno Mockery, when people speak the truth, you just don't have a choice.
See, this is where this comes in, like, completely.
Yeah.
We all need to be objective. Why is that man a free man?
And Reno pointed out something, that Sheikh Gumi has never spoken on behalf of the victims.
Because these people are also northerners, when you think about it.
Northerners, southerners, wherever.
Nobody.
Victims.
You never talked about
the people
victims.
who are the receiving end of this terrorism or
banditry. But it almost seems like you are claiming that they're fighting for something. What exactly are you fighting for?
Anytime someone says something about how they should handle these bandits.
Yeah, he still spoke last week when the federal government had said that they're going. Okay, no, when he was like that, the minutes that they they call them terrorists and not bandits, then Nigeria is going to.
And what has happened to him? Look,
what?
Dolupo,
I can't wrap my head around it, but I will just be quiet.
As not so prominent as we are, none of us can make that statement and go scot-free.
Go scot-free, exactly. So I'm like,
nobody out there watching us or listening can actually say
why
something
would the DSS
against Nigeria?
I feel
this Sheikh Gumi guy has said this. Nothing has happened.
I feel that there's something to this matter. This particular person,
never will you hear him say, "Oh, there's some people that were kidnapped that you want to help," and blah blah blah. You know,
I feel that he's the one that knew where these bandits were he was the one that wanted to
he went there to
the only reason why I think he didn't continue was when I think he was talking. They were supposed to be in talks with the Kaduna State Governor, and Kaduna State Governor said no.
No.
So I still can't wrap my head around why and how we're still on the conversation of Sheikh Gumi, but it is what it is. I think it's high time that what's it called? DSS. The government needs to give us an explanation.
How is Sheikh Gumi walking around freely talking about things that can incite, a riot and all of that, and he's free.
I agree. And
nobody's saying anything about him.
I don't know what we're doing about that. But moving on from that, yeah. I'm talking about things that had happened before and things that were being looted or things that are being looted. Jesus College of the Cambridge, yeah, has returned the looted Benin sculpture. Remember that there was a story about it, was it last week, that they were actually going to return it.
Yeah. And
now looks like they actually returned it.
Yeah, that was about 2-3 weeks ago. And this story started popping up about 2-3 months ago. The Germans are talking about returning looted Benin sculptures and artifacts and stuff. The British, even the French are also talking about it.
The French are also talking about, Germans are talking about it. And also, still talking about returning stuff. Most recently, the University of Aberdeen is to formally return Benin's bronze to Nigeria on Thursday. There's actually going to be an event around it.
Yeah. So a part of me is going to say something that might sound controversial, but I don't know if they have thought about it. Some of these pieces can be returned to the people who returned them. But hear me out. People pay monies to go to those museums in those countries to look at these bronze and these artifacts and all these statues and stuff. So we can actually have a partnership with them and say, on an annual basis, this is like a sharing formula of sorts, which is income for the Benin kingdom.
You don't think
that's I'm coming. There's so many of them. Based on the things that are going to be returned, they're going to run into thousands.
So that's my point.
Now,
isn't it tourism for the Benin people?
But you didn't.
If you want to see it, come to Benin.
You did not let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
not everybody, no matter how, even if you give them free tickets, not everybody's going to come to Benin. Not everybody's going to come to Nigeria. But there's nothing wrong with expanding your scope to say, okay, you're returning 500 pieces of our artifacts and our statues. We're going to give you 40. And for this 40, for the next 10 years, we agree on a sharing formula. And you know, that's some income. Now, every other thing that's returned, it's not coming to Lagos. It's not going to Abuja. It's going to Benin.
Oh, it's going to Benin, yeah.
So, you now build a proper museum. You know, it might even be in the Oba's Palace.
Yeah, it looks like it's actually going to be in the Oba's Palace.
It might be some in the other Oba's Palace, some in a civic center somewhere or whatever. And our own people too, people like you and me, will also get a chance to go to Benin and say, oh, we want to actually see these artifacts that have been away for so many years. They were stolen, you know, by the colonizers and everything, and now we have them back. You get it? What I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with looking at a multifaceted approach at, you know, still putting out information and history, and rewrite the history properly this time. You know, you tag the bronze pieces properly this time so that when people see them, you know, they say, oh, okay, that is on loan. And it's not a new thing, because some of the very expensive pieces that people go to pay money to look at museums are actually loaned to them. So I'm not saying something that's out of the ordinary. I'm just saying that we can deploy that approach, and you know, that's some more information and some income.
Okay, so maybe we'll see how that goes, but it looks like the Oba of Benin is very, very they actually want these things to themselves, as the University of Aberdeen, Scotland, has said that on Thursday they will complete the return of a Benin bronze head at a handover ceremony at 5:30 p.m. So there's actually an event towards that as well.
Yeah, because there's so many of them, and I'm glad that this is happening in our own lifetime. Seeing that we only read about this thing.
Yeah, and I like and you know what? I like the fact that the government is not just West. We know that we need to deal with economy, we need to deal with health, this is also a major part of Nigeria. This is a major part of our history, a major part of our culture, and if done properly, could even if, let's talk as little as the Benin society, if like you said, if I think that a museum is being built already or something, it could skyrocket and become a major, that town alone where it's built could be a major tourist attraction for Nigeria, for the aviation industry, for the hotel industry. Like a lot of people just want to come to Nigeria to go to Benin to see these things. It's going to be amazing. And then, like you said, it's time to actually rewrite history the way it was actually supposed to be. It's good that all these people are actually owning up to their mistakes. And before we leave Benin, a very interesting story or something I read earlier of the Oba of Benin. He had actually banned the head of servants. There's someone called that, the head of servants, from the palace completely. And why? What would you think someone as high up there would do? The first thing is that they say that this person has parading himself round the town of Benin City, as the second in command to the Oba of Benin. And using that to extort people, to grab land from people. He is also involved in fraud. And you're wondering, how do you do these things?
Well, it's human nature. We are prone to this kind of things. You see, I'm not going to judge him by my own standards. Well, maybe I would probably never do it if I was in this position. Thank God I'm not, anyway. But it's human nature. People.
It's true. It's a lot of power that he feels, that he feels that he wields,
and so come on. And you probably felt that the Oba will probably
never find out and all that.
But you know, the Oba of Benin is very powerful. He has a very strong support base. His people love him to pieces. Of course, he would find out. He would find out.
Okay, let's move on from that. And then there's stories from the governors.
Yeah.
First thing, the story that the Southwest governors were hosted by the Lagos State Governor in Lagos here at the Marina House.
State House, yeah, Marina. State House, Marina. And of course, we know that every governor was in attendance except the governor of
No,
Oyo,
he was
who his deputy was there.
Yeah, his deputy was there.
But every other governor
was there.
Was there, and the meeting was at the State House Marina. And again, the real gist is not about that meeting or whatever they had decided there. You get. Notice that Governor of Ondo, Governor Akeredolu, had been in Lagos for a bit. He attended the NBA summit.
Yeah.
Then this governor summit in Lagos Island. Then they all actually went to the leader of their party, or the leader of the APC, because the PDP deputy is definitely the PDP. The governor of Oyo is a PDP card-carrying member. So they all went to see the Southwest leader and leader of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, just returned from a medical trip to the UK. And of course, when he was in the UK, everybody was going there to see him. People were back and forth about it. And of course, when people saw the picture, there was no Kayode Fayemi of the
Ekiti State.
Of Ekiti State. And everyone was like, wait. How come he's in Lagos, he's in this meeting, and
he's not there?
And if you look at your Google map, for those who know, and if you don't know, let me tell you, the State House...
It's both in Lagos Island.
to Bodilon, it's just that bridge. You know, once you climb that bridge into Ikoyi and blah, 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 maybe 15 minutes drive if there's traffic. But governors know they get traffic, you know. So how come Fayemi was not there? People started saying a lot of things, tongues were wagging. But the governor of Ondo State has actually put that to rest. And he came out to say that, look, that Governor Fayemi of Ekiti actually had a pre-arranged meeting.
Yeah, I think he said that it was still this MBA thing that they had another
they have different sessions
that there's one in Port Harcourt that he was supposed to speak.
So he had
to go immediately. Now, I wasn't even going to go that route because, of course, we know that's the story that is going on. Now, still talking about Kayode Fayemi. We know that he's the what do they call them now? He's the chairman of the Governors Forum. Yeah. And now he had come out to say
that's the Nigerian
Governors Forum is actually the chairman of the Governors Forum. So he had come out to say he has actually opened up and said that the governors do not want to start paying the Paris Club Fund, the money that they borrowed. This gist is that federal government in the budget for 2022, it is in there that they actually want to start paying.
The thing about it is that this gist, according to what we've gathered, if the federal government decides to start paying the Paris Club money, which is about $400 million plus, it will affect 33 states of Nigeria. And immediately they're saying that they won't be able to pay salaries and all of that.
So when do you plan to start paying this money?
It actually leads us back to what we keep saying. How viable are these states? How come there's a Nigerian agency?
Can we just have Nigerian states?
There's a Nigerian agency that tells us that every state is rich, especially in human and natural resources.
Natural resources, yeah.
So is it a management issue that you need to depend on federal allocations and not paying a debt that we owe for you to be able to pay salaries? We need to rethink this whole contraption, because again, these are the same governors who are clamoring for them to get VAT.
They want to get VAT by themselves and all that. Now, when you can't even afford, okay, how much is the VAT? And how much is so are you saying that once there is VAT, there won't be federal allocation anymore? But you will still have to pay your debt? Because y'all got bailout. It was out of it.
Y'all got bailout.
Y'all got bailout.
So,
when are you actually going to start paying this monies back?
Governor, when do you want to start paying?
Really, I think that it's time that we really need to look, like you said, we need to look inwards that we can't continue like this. We always go cap in hand, and every time, and then it's just a vicious cycle. And we know this money's there's what's it called on it? There's interest on it and all that, which I don't think is a bad idea for the federal government to start returning these monies little by little.
Yeah, at least reducing debt profile also helps you, breathe better. You have to sleep better. Personally, for me, when I pay debt, I feel relieved.
Yeah, I think that it's time that the governors need to look into these things and then move on. And then still talking about money, the Nigerian Senate is now talking, and they're talking about something that is very interesting. And the story is that they're condemning the Ministry of Health's proposed $200 million loan to buy mosquito nets.
Right. I know that.
How much mosquito nets are we buying?
I know that malaria is a scourge.
Yeah.
I know that because we're in the tropics, we still battle with malaria a lot.
Yeah.
Other parts of the world have been able to destroy and completely annihilate anything that has to do with malaria. Mm-hmm. They don't have mosquitoes in some parts of the world, which is strange, but it's real because we...
Then also the weather. The weather also
is... They're temperate. We are tropical, all of that. But guess what? The process of deciding to use state funds to buy mosquito nets, to me, I've never liked that idea. I understand where indigent people maybe would like it. Maybe they would sleep under those. But personally, I can't sleep under a mosquito
I don't even
net.
know how people do it. Because for me, it's choking.
I got 2, and I gave them out.
It's choking.
The last time they were giving
the thing actually literally chokes me.
I can't sleep.
I don't know if it is psychological, but I just can't seem to. I don't know how people do it. I remember in uni then it was a thing, like a lot of people have it, and I'm like, how? I remember NYSC camp. Actually, it was bought for me, and I'm like, okay. I tried using it. I'm like, nope. You know what? This mosquito will be fine together. I can't. I'd rather get bitten by mosquito than die.
I can't sleep in mosquito nets, but let me not use my own standards to judge other people. So for me, what I'm basically saying is
I think it's just ridiculous. I think it's too much money.
And
then it's a loan. Not even you don't even have the money.
If we're going to even spend billions of naira on health or whatever, shouldn't we look at
hospitals?
Health,
upgrading health centers.
All our health centers. Let us have world-class.
Let's work on that first.
For the first time.
Let's work on that. Let us actually. That's a lot of money, and the annoying part
is misplaced priorities.
Is the fact that we don't even have that money. It's actually going to be a loan. That's the one that blows my mind the most. Like seriously.
I think it's misplaced.
If you had the money and you're like, okay, you have the money for other things, so this one works. But seriously, I think it is ridiculous. And talking about money before we leave, I was going to... Okay, I think we have a bit of time. And we're going to talk about the e-Naira. And there's... According to reports now, it said in about 24 hours, 200,000 people have downloaded wallets.
Yeah.
At the e-Naira.
Yeah.
I think that we need to break e-Naira down a little bit. What's the concept of e-Naira?
Well, I'm no expert, but of course we have been briefed and we are also still reading up on it. And it's just basically your naira in an electronic form. Mm-hmm. That's why once you download the app, you would link it to at least one of your banks. If you have more than one account in Nigerian banks, you link it to at least one of them. And which basically means that you're going to use your BVN and your NIN and everything, and so it's secure. But because it's blockchain technology, it's a way of you doing electronic transactions without being afraid of losing your money and all of that. 2, it's a legal tender. It's the same value that the naira has, that your e-Naira has. It is not a cryptocurrency. It is not a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies, the concept of a cryptocurrency has nothing to do with government per se. It's individuals and private businesses who mine cryptos and sell them, and of course create a value for it. And of course it's traded back and forth There are NFTs also now that is like the next big thing after cryptos. But the e-naira, erroneously, everybody thinks, oh, Nigeria banned cryptocurrency, then brought e-naira. No. It's not a crypto. It's not. It's your naira, you know. And again, it's not going to fluctuate or appreciate and do all those things that your crypto does, like the Dogecoin or Shiba, you know, or any of the Ethereum and any of them. No. It's just the same naira that you have. But the advantage is that instead of looking for other ways of transferring money to people, maybe through buying goods or buying other things, and say
it's just direct. And then I heard that I also read that people don't have to use smartphones.
No, you don't even need it. You don't need a
smartphone to work with.
You can, and with this barcode, you can actually scan. And again, what it means is that by the time it becomes, it's because it's a legal tender anyway, because it's issued by a CBN. By the time all the other CBNs get on board, it's going to make transactions easier. It means also, again, for remittance. For instance, Nigerian people who live abroad, they remit a lot of money to Nigeria.
Yeah.
For business,
okay, so
for
you
family.
can just send in, wherever you are in the world now, download it. Once you have an NIN,
so a Nigerian that has all of those things would actually find it easy
to just send
remit money. Again, if you think you're going to be doing some money laundering, maybe you'll get away with some. But it's easier for them to track and trace because it's electronic, and of course it is secured on the blockchain.
And I also heard that still this same October, it looks like Ghana is also looking at an
Ghana
e-city.
is looking at it. Rwanda
is looking at
African
countries. Nigeria is the first to work with it, but I
think
it's going to be an amazing thing.
Even globally, Nigeria
looks like central banks
has beat several countries, even in Europe. In the Americas,
I was
Asia.
reading it that a lot of central banks are looking into it, and it looks like it might actually be the next big thing for most countries.
Contrary to, because a lot of people, what we do here, we're objective. We can criticize this government and praise them when they do well. A lot of people are actually looking at the negatives and try to paint it in a certain way. But the way I see this,
it might actually be a good thing.
If the CBN follows through on its plans, it's going to be a fantastic thing for Nigeria.
Okay. We'll see how that works. And finally, before we go, Anthony Joshua has agreed to Tyson Fury's call to ask to train him for his rematch.
Well, I'll take that with a pinch of salt. I follow boxing a lot, the sweet science, like we call it. I know that AJ has been shopping for a trainer, apart from the one that he has. And recently he was quoted to have said that no more Mr. Nice Guy, that he's angry, he's hungry, he's passionate, and he really doesn't care about all of the technicalities anymore. He just wants to fight and deck Usyk and, get his belts back and everything. And if he does it, it will be like a major record because he lost it against Andy Ruiz, got it back, lost it against Usyk, then got it back. It will be massive for him and all of that. If he changes his approach, if he changes the style, just maybe, he'll be able to get his belt back. A lot of us have been worried because this is not the AJ we know. This is not the AJ that we saw, defeat someone who everybody felt was undefeatable, know. And he did it, and I feel that if AJ goes in with that same anger, that same hunger.
So you don't think that Tyson Fury is a good...
But I don't know about the Fury part because they still need to fight. We still need to see Fury and AJ do the unification.
They might not.
They might not. They might never.
They might
but
never.
I want it. You see, in boxing, there are things that we crave. If you've been following boxing for years, you will hear about. It's just like when Manny Pacquiao and the Money Man,
finally Mayweather,
fought. They had been at it for years. Pound for pound. Those are the kind of fights that when they finally happen, it just basically shuts down the world of sports. So we still want Tyson Fury to defeat Dillian White. We want AJ to defeat Usyk, and we want that unification because it looks like my man. Deontay is out of the picture now. He doesn't have a belt. except he's gonna start all over again.
Start all over again.
So, but whatever it is, AJ, we still love you and we still got your back.
So on that note, that is all we're able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow with another wonderful edition of